Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. What's up, everybody? Good morning and happy Thursday, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your starts, whether you are just getting up, getting going here, or maybe you've been up for a while here. We appreciate you tuning in, whether it's on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, also available to stream online at sportstalk1051.com. Got your Alexa devices, smart speakers. You can download the app, take it on the go. You got your video, or did I say the video stream yet? No, video stream up and rolling on YouTube here this morning. So hopefully you're being safe out there with the smoke. It is thick out there, so be safe if you have to be outside for any extended amount of time and such. We just need a big fan to get out there and just blow it towards Bears fans in Illinois or something, just because they blow a lot of smoke anyway, so they should be used to this. So there's my corny joke for the morning here. But what do we have on our game plan for us this morning? Well, Brewers making a trade yesterday. The Brew Crew adding some pitching depth. Lance McCullers Jr. from the Houston Astros. Also, because we touched that, it happened right before the end of the program yesterday, so we got more details now. But Lance McCullers Jr. and Colton Gordon and Cash going over to the Brewers for minor league outfielder Jaden Fielder, who is, yes, the son of former Brewers player Prince Fielder. So Brew Crew making the deal yesterday, officially becoming official also yesterday. So we'll break this down, kind of talk about it and all that good stuff. Brewers won't be back in action until tomorrow, but Major League Baseball season does kick back up tonight with one game. You've got the Mets taking on the Phillies tonight. So plenty of baseball chat coming your way here this morning as we break down this Brewers trade. So also on the docket, we'll chat a little football as we continue our Packers training camp countdown, top storylines, top things to watch, position group, players, people, all that fun stuff. So we'll get into that coming up here a little bit later on. It is a Thursday, so if you have any questions for our DNR warden friend, Mr. Jake Boakes, please start to text those on over right now to our Shoe Doctors bullpen line at 715-830-1912 so we can get those on over to Jake ASAP. Since it is also a Thursday, it is a 3-up, 3-down Thursday. So what are three items that are up, like stock reports, and three things that are maybe down? And then it is also a Am I Wrong Thursday, brought to you by Mike's Star Market. So give us your sports take, give us your sports opinion, give us your sports thoughts that you would say, am I wrong for saying that? Am I wrong for thinking that? So feel free, again, to send those on over either on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line, or you can hang out in the Section 105 chat that is on our video stream. So you can do that over there too. World Cup, we know the final matchup, Argentina taking down England. So it'll be Argentina versus Spain for the World Cup final coming up this weekend. So got a little bit of that on here. We'll and then whatever the heck else we want to talk about. I know it's kind of a quiet time this week with the sports world. It'll really kick back up with baseball back in action tomorrow with every team that's going to be in action. So that this long week is going to be over with here when we can get back to some baseball games to talk about and such. So if you got anything else that you'd like to throw out there as a topic suggestion or question or whatever have you, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So send those on over if you like. Don't forget, tonight is a Tailgate Thursday event. The Eau Claire Express are back in action after having the off day yesterday. Probably a good day to have the off day yesterday, too, with all the smoke in the air. But they'll be back at Carson Park tonight, taking on the Minnesota Mud Puppies. First pitch, 6:35, but we'll be doing our Tailgate Thursday event tonight a couple hours beforehand, so you can meet us up at the Hank Aaron statue just outside Carson Park. We'll have some of their legendary or Legends beer for sampling, some prizes, some swag, and some other games and fun stuff. The card collecting club will be there, so if you bring the kiddos will be able to get some free cards from Brian and the card collecting club. So looking forward to that as well. So let's get things going here this morning, shall we? We'll take our first break here so we can jump right into it and talk some Brewers baseball. Let's talk about this trade. Lance McCullers Jr. Is the big name in here. Gordon also coming over from the Astros for a minor league player. Let's hash this out and maybe look towards the future. I'm sure one thing is that Brewers fans are wondering: is this going to be the only one? Is there more on the horizon? We'll talk about that too. We got intern Carter that's going to be joining us here in just a couple minutes too. So let's take our first break and then we'll get the leadoff going here this morning. Talking some Brewers baseball. We'll be right back after these quick words. Summer is here, and that means it is the perfect time to give your home a fresh new look with the help from Carpet City Flooring Center right here in Eau Claire. Whether you are updating a family room, finishing a basement, refreshing a bedroom, or finally tackling that remodeling project you have been putting off, Carpet City Flooring Center has the flooring options you are looking for. From beautiful hardwood and luxury vinyl planks to carpet, tile, and more, you'll find quality products and expert guidance every single step of the way. Their experienced team will help you find the right flooring to fit your style, your budget, and with professional installation available, your project can be completed quickly and correctly. Make this the summer that you transform your home. Stop on in to Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire today and discover why so many area homeowners trust Carpet City Flooring Center for all of their flooring needs. All right, before we get things going here this morning, let's say good morning to Mr. Intern Carter. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing? Surviving the smoke?
Yeah. It's harder to survive the week without sports, but
it is. But the end is almost here.
There you go.
Right, so it's almost here. But at least the Brewers gave us a little bit of a topic to discuss here yesterday. Trading for Lance McCullers Jr., also adding Gordon, the left-handed pitcher from the Astros. Has a little bit of major league experience, not a ton here, but nonetheless, Brewers sending Prince Fielder's kid on over to the Astros. Seems like a salary dump. It is a salary dump for the Astros. Astros going to be paying a big chunk of McCullers' contract, too. So McCullers is currently in rehab from another injury. This is a guy that, I mean, fair to say he's not the same pitcher he was a few years ago. Is a two-time World Series winner, but has been dealing with quite a bit of injuries over the years here. So Brewers, maybe this seems like a typical Brewers move, though, doesn't it? I mean, look at some of the veterans that they have brought in at certain points in the season, like Dallas Keuchel, Gio Gonzalez in 18. So it seems like a very, very typical Brewers type of move, saying, all right, let's bring in this veteran and let's kick the tires and see if we can get something out of him. I mean, you look at it, 2024 he didn't pitch, 2023 did pitch, 2022 he pitched a little over 47 innings, 2025 55 innings. This year is just a little over 39 innings. So doesn't have a lot of innings on that arm, but just can't stay healthy at this point.
But when he was pretty good.
Yeah.
And, back in 2022, and he had that shortened season, but he was really good. And then 2021, his best season. So, Brewers do this every year, it feels like, and always get something good out of them. So if he can just stabilize an injured rotation, that'll help right now.
I think that's the biggest thing, too, right? Stabilize that, maybe add a veteran to this, because I still have my doubts about Brandon Woodruff coming back this year. So he is a guy that has won 2 World Series. He was a big part of one of them, too, a clutch one. I mean, my expectations are pretty low on this, but I mean, if he can be a fifth, sixth starter in this rotation that gives you quality innings and eats up innings, keeps your team in the game, doesn't lose the game for you, okay. But I guess it's kind of a wait and see type of approach to see, when or what we're going to get from him. And I will say this, I think the numbers I saw too from his minor league rehab so far, I mean, not bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not bad, kind of like what you were just saying. When he has been healthy, he's been fairly good. He is a name. I'm sure a lot of people recognize the name, but maybe can't like pinpoint, why do I know that name? But again, I'm not surprised that this is a Brewers type of move, because this fits what they've done over the last few years here. So,
and it's all about staying healthy for him again. I think that if he does stay healthy, the Brewers are going to be able to get they're going to get him to eat innings for the Brewers, but he hasn't been able to recently. So I'm wondering, they must have checked how his injury rehab was going before making the move.
Yeah.
So he must be close to coming up, but hopefully he can just eat innings.
Yeah. Matt Arnold talking a little bit yesterday about the move, saying, quote, "We definitely want to insulate ourselves with as much pitching depth as we possibly can." McCullers is expected to be in Milwaukee today for a discussion with Brewers officials about what comes next. There is a chance his next outing is a major league start, Matt Arnold said. Also, it is believed that Gordon was just as important to the Brewers' motivation in making the deal, or even more so. He's likely to be assigned to the starting rotation at AAA Nashville to begin his Milwaukee's tenure. Matt Arnold saying, quote, "He's a guy that we've targeted for a while." I feel like Matt Arnold has said that a few times, more than a few times over the years when it comes to some of these dudes. He said he's got really good pitchability. We really like his secondary weapons. He's more of a deception and command type of guy, but he's pitched very well in AAA. So McCullers was scheduled to make his fourth minor league rehab start tomorrow. He's coming off of a 77-pitch outing for AAA Albuquerque. His pitch count and velocity in that outing suggested he was nearing a return to Houston's rotation. He did top out at a little over 93 miles per hour. He was 2-3 with a 6.86 ERA in Houston before being scratched from a scheduled start on May 19th. So, Matt Arnold saying, quote, "There's definitely risk associated here, but we'll talk about the upside with a player that has a really good track record as a winning pitcher and has pitched very well in postseason games. He struggled a little bit this year, but there's definitely upside here." So they're betting on the upside when it comes to Lance McCullers Jr. Interesting to read that, maybe Colton Gordon was the guy that they really kind of were targeting at this. I don't know if it was something where maybe the Brewers approached the Astros about Colton Gordon. The Astros countered by saying, if you take Lance McCullers Jr., so they have a little bit of flexibility when it comes to the trade deadline. Maybe that's just pure speculation on my point, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting to hear that, but maybe again not too surprising because he is a younger pitcher that's just getting his major league career started, and it's another lefty added to the depth of this young squad.
And just reading some of the articles, Gordon's won some minor league awards for pitching, and he's got some room to grow. And the pitching staff of the Brewers always gets the best out of them. So if he can come in and again, I mean, they needed bullpen help in my opinion. So if he can be that guy to help him out, then it's a very low risk, high reward type of move. Because even though it was a fun story with Jaden Fielder, he's an undrafted free agent for a reason. And I know there's going to be some, but I hope fans aren't pissed.
Yeah. Because it's Prince Fielder. So.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be some like, why would you do that? Doesn't mean he's the next Prince Fielder, right? Like you said, undrafted. I mean, come on, let's look at the bigger picture here. We gotta focus on the 2026 Brewers and not even maybe the 2031 Brewers or whatever. If he would have even gotten to that level, we don't even know
if he gets there.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So I think the other part in this, too, is, okay, I'm sure there's some fans that are wondering about, okay, why would they trade for another injured pitcher when, we're dealing with injuries? But if Gordon is the guy that they were really targeting in this thing, I think the Brewers maybe earn the benefit of the doubt when it comes to targeting certain pitchers. I mean, because it seems like they've hit on a lot of them. Kyle Harrison, Shane Drowan, Brandon Sproat's been pitching better. Quinn Priester last year when he was healthy. If Gordon is the guy that they're really intrigued with, I trust the Brewers when it comes to, okay, because I would imagine they probably consulted Chris Hook.
Yeah.
When you look at pitchers, why wouldn't you consult your pitching coordinator or whatever his title is? Like, hey, what do you think about this guy? I trust Chris Hook when it comes to evaluating pitchers and getting the most out of those guys. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'm a little bit more intrigued with what they see with this Gordon cat.
Well, and like what you said, Arnold said last year, they've been looking at Quinn Priester for so long.
Yeah.
And they turned him into a stud, and now he says this about Gordon. So I have high hopes for Gordon. I think he could come in and be a really good MLB bullpen pitcher for us this year. And we'll likely need it eventually. So, again, just another arm.
Yeah. And, McCullers Jr. is going to be a free agent after this year, so it is a rental. That's why I think the more we look at this and the more that we kind of read between the lines from Matt Arnold, I think Colton Gordon was the guy they wanted. He's pre-arbitration for the next couple of years, so, he's really under team control here for a while. And I think maybe McCullers was just, okay, throw him in down there and we'll add some veteran depth and see what happens.
And again, you traded Jaden Fielder and you got cash. Like, this wasn't a trade that you didn't trade a top prospect. He wasn't even in your top 30.
Right.
So this move was interesting for the Astros part because you're trading two MLB ready pitchers for a player that, likely won't turn out because not a lot of players do. Mm-hmm. So it did make sense from the Astros perspective, but from the Brewers perspective, again, I don't know what their GM does, but he's just so good at trades right now.
He is. And, again, look at the moves that, Matt Arnold has made in the offseason. And, maybe we were scratching our heads a little bit like, okay, why would you do? I think almost all of them have worked out, haven't they? I know we haven't seen Jet Williams, but Brandon Sproat's arrow is probably trending upward more so than Freddie Peralta. Kyle Harrison, Shane Drowan, and even throw in Hamilton for what he's been able to do. And I know Caleb Durbin's been playing better as of late too, but still, I trust Matt Arnold's and the Brewers, and a lot of it is their pitching lab and whatever they do to these pitchers to get the most out of them. I think Colton Gordon, if I'm Colton Gordon, I'm excited, right? If you are a pitcher that is a little bit younger or, is maybe kind of close or a little bit of experience in the major leagues and maybe nothing just hasn't clicked or you haven't gotten a ton of opportunities, you get traded to the Brewers, I would be excited because it's almost like undrafted rookie free agents in Green Bay. Yeah. You're going to get an opportunity and you're going to be able to get to work with arguably the best pitching coach in Major League Baseball or a pitching group that has done wonders for so many other pitchers. If I'm one of those pitchers like a Colton Gordon or a Quinn Priester last year or a Kyle Harrison this year, and I get traded to Milwaukee, I'm ecstatic because they're going to put a lot of faith in me and they're going to work with me and they see something in me.
I think both pitchers have to be extremely excited because you're going from a team that isn't competing for World Series to a team that is, and they get an opportunity to help in that. So, even from Lance McCullers' perspective, if he can get back to a little bit of his 2022 form, the Brewers will take that because that can play in the postseason.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a guy, too, that, I'm curious, when, let's say, everybody gets healthy from a starting rotation standpoint for the Brewers, like McCullers is a bullpen type of guy, too. Was it the 2017 World Series? He was kind of like the piggyback starter, 4 innings. So, there is a little bit of flexibility surrounding that, which, again, fits the Brewers mold for a lot of their pitchers, right? Yeah. So, and I don't think the Brewers are going to really tax him, when he does come off that injured list, if he is, his next start is going to be at the major league level. I mean, I don't think the Brewers are going to say, okay, we're going to throw you out there in the minimum 6 innings.
Yeah.
They're going to be cautious with that. So.
And again, they needed pitching. I mean, they just signed Bryce Wilson, and I don't I like Bryce Wilson. He's an innings eater, but you can be better. And bringing in 2 players that have potential to be better is a good move in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, you want depth, right? You just want to build depth, and if anything, I mean, does it probably put the nail in the coffin of the hope of a Skoo Bowl? I mean, if you had hope for that, maybe it doesn't change anything. I don't know, but I still don't think it's going to happen. So, but let's talk a little bit more about this. What does this trade maybe kind of signal for the Brewers going forward with the trade deadline coming up on August 3rd? Let's hit that up. But what are your thoughts on this trade? You can let us know. Shoot us a message on that Section 105 chat. I know we got Matt over there, and the texting line. You can also hit us up over there, 715-830-1912. We got to take a quick break, got to pay some bills, and we'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Summer is the season for golf, softball, pickleball, running, staying active. But you know what? Aches and pains, they can quickly slow you down. And that's where Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine comes on in. Their experienced team helps weekend warriors and athletes of all ages get back to doing what they love with expert care and treatment options designed to keep you moving. Play more, hurt less. Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. You can get started today by checking out their website, cvosm.com. Thanks to Brandon's mom for the early birthday wish. She is listening to us from the Country Jam grounds, sporting her 105.1 T. So thank you, Brandon's mom. Surveyor, your text, I don't even know if you're listening right now, Surveyor, but your text came in late, and this was from yesterday, and it was about Jordan Love. So we'll get to that a little bit later on. Surveyor with a long one. He is a big Jordan Love believer. So obviously Jordan Love has been a big topic this week. So Surveyor, I'll get to it probably coming up in the next hour. We got Matt on the Section 105 chat saying, I assert this is the first trade of a couple. McCullers is the salary dump with Houston, taking on a surprising amount. Gordon is the peace reclamation project for Hook and Friends. And unrelated, but Aaron Savale got DFA'd again. And good morning to Barb on the Section 105 chat too. So we gotta get Matt. I think he's listening to us in Ohio. We gotta get some more listeners in Ohio there, Matt. So we gotta recruit you as a recruiter to get that out there. So, but obviously with All-Star Game over with, all the focus or a lot of the focus now in Major League Baseball is going to be on the trade deadline. And I don't know if this is the only move that the Brewers make. Would it surprise you if it's the only move the Brewers make? Honestly, there's a big part of me that says no, it wouldn't. But I feel like Brewers fans, it's very similar to last year where who was it that they acquired last year? I'm blanking off the top of my... Was it Andrew Vaughn? I think it might have been Andrew Vaughn, Aaron Savale and Andrew Vaughn. Maybe there was another one. But the feeling was just don't let that be the only move. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the only one. And again, a lot of things could happen in the next couple of weeks before the trade deadline. Whether this is the only pitching move they make, I could still see them acquiring maybe a bullpen arm to bolster that, because again, we went through some of Matt Arnold's comments and he talked about pitching depth, and I easily could see the Brewers doing that. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a big name, but somebody that they can go up and down in AAA, so they can have some flexibility with that, bringing in fresh arms and just, the back and forth that we've already seen with that. Because if you get a veteran, let's say, well, then you're kind of, quote, stuck with them, and you don't have that flexibility. So I could see it where it's not a big name, but they've still got some minor league service time that they could, have some flexibility calling up and down with.
I think the Brewers do these moves so early and so far ahead of the trade deadline because they want to see if it works.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did this with Savali too. It's almost like they're making the trade. If it doesn't work, they'll do another one. But if it works out, then they'll just stand pat because they made their move. And I think this is kind of that, because if McCullers comes out and gets hurt again or struggles, and Gordon, I mean, he hasn't been good in the MLB this year. He carries it over an 11 ERA. If he's got to spend some time in AAA to get whatever pitches fixed and can't really be an MLB arm right now, then they'll probably have to make another move.
Mm-hmm.
But if McCullers comes out and balls out and all of a sudden Gordon's fixed, well, then there's no really need to make a move because you've got that depth then all of a sudden again.
The trades that they did last year, now that I remember, because I looked it up, Danny Jansen and Brandon Lockridge. Those were the two moves, because Lockridge was traded to the Padres, where they shipped off Nestor Cortez, who made the great career with the Brewers. But those were the two. So yeah, now I remember Brewers fans say, "Don't let that be the only moves." But I from an offensive side, if they do another position player, I think everybody just assumes it's going to be third base. But I think this is a huge couple weeks for Joey Ortiz. Right? I mean, this maybe not even a couple weeks, maybe a week and change. Like, what's that time? We got August 3rd, so they're going to be in action starting tomorrow. Would you say week and a half of Joey Ortiz to maybe solidify that spot? And because he's hitting better. But if he comes out of the All-Star break and he struggles, do the Brewers look at that? But then on the flip side, who's out there from a third base?
I think they'll always be looking, but I think he's safe because, like you said, there's absolutely nobody out there that I would want them to trade for, and everybody's going to be overpriced because there are a lot of teams buying this year. And I think they've stuck with Joey Ortiz this long, they're going to ride him out this year.
Yep.
And if they do make a move, I could see a Jet Williams moving up or somebody like that rather than trading for a power bat.
And I think it was kind of telling, too, where I don't know if you saw this, but it was right after Sunday's game, or I think it was on Sunday, it was reported that Jet Williams was going to be called up, but then he had a hand injury. So, yeah, I don't know if that would have been the move over Lara, or if Lara was already pre-planned before Jet Williams, with the timeline there. But the fact that they were going to call him up, but then the injury kind of derailed that. Honestly, if Jet Williams is the better option than forcing a move just to bring in somebody else out there, I'd rather do that.
So I read that, and my first thought was, then why isn't he up now? Like, he's healed. He's ready to go. He's playing in the minor leagues. That probably meant they weren't going to play him every day, which now confuses me, because why would you call him up to not play him? If he was going to play every day, then you can call him up right now for the same thing. So a little bit of that didn't make sense to me. So I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, even like the Lara one it's kind of a interesting plan that they've had so far. It really showcases the rotation that they're doing, because I mean, I'll say this again. If Frelick homers in a game, you better win it, and they didn't do that on Saturday. But, I mean, Garrett Mitchell's been playing better. So it just really seems like they're rotating a lot of these outfielders, and I don't know if that would have been the case for Jet, but then I feel like you got to get those guys at bats so they can continue to get better and improve and get that experience.
And I think if Yelich comes out of the break still ice cold, he probably goes on the IL.
It's going to be one of those. Yeah, well, he's dealing with a back again. Well, is he, or is he just struggling and you need to sit him down for a bit? Maybe there's a little bit of an issue with the back, but not enough for an injured list, but that's your way to, I could see that if Yelich is really struggling. To me, that's the guy that has to have the surge in the second half. When you look at this roster, I'm sure, you can make guys like Ortiz and Frelick, but I think if there's a dude that really needs a surge, it's got to be Christian Yelich to help out this ball club.
Yeah, he's the veteran leader. I mean, you're going to need him in the postseason, especially as a leadoff hitter, because right now he's not even walking. So he's not even doing his job as the leadoff hitter, and that's annoying to watch. But, last year he had 29 home runs. If he even gets a little bit of that power back and starts getting on base, we're going to challenge the Dodgers. It'll be better than last year.
Mm-hmm. This is the thing too when it comes to these final 66 games for the Brewers. When I see this, where this team is at, and the rest of Major League Baseball, I feel like there's nobody in the American League that scares me. If it was Brewers versus whoever, if the Brewers go to the World Series, I don't know if there's an American League team right now that would scare me. It's like the National League is it's the Dodgers. I would be a little concerned with the Phillies coming up. They're playing better. Braves are in that mix too. But is it fair to say that Brewers somehow, if they get through the I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but that's kind of with the trade deadline too, is I don't fear anybody in the American League, which is kind of a changing of the guard here a little bit, or maybe it has been for the last couple of years. I think even Smoltz was talking about it on the All-Star game telecast, how the American League, you look at a lot of these teams now and record-wise. But, it's almost like, what is the move that the Brewers have to make to push them over the top against the Dodgers, if that's even possible in like one or two moves?
And I saw something last week where it was like, if the season ended today, the Brewers would have been playing either the Braves or the Cubs in the first round. That's a tough matchup, especially for a first round for the Brewers. And then you have to go play the Dodgers. Like, they're going to have to get through a good team to get there. Mm-hmm. And so they should, but it's never a given in baseball. So they have to make moves to be able to get to the Dodgers. And then obviously you have to beat the Dodgers. So it's the NL's kind of stacked this year.
It is. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams right now in the National League being World Series champs. Braves, Phillies, Brewers, Cubs, Dodgers.
Yeah.
American League, right. The easy one would be the Yankees, but they're not even in first place in their division.
I know.
And
that's insane.
Looking at some of the rumors out there, MLB.com, this would be kind of interesting. But apparently the Tampa Bay Rays are interested in Skubal. And one of this is from John Heyman, said that if the Tigers make Skubal available, Cubs, weird, Braves, and Rays are expected to be among the strongest suitors. Tampa Bay was also linked to Skubal several days ago, with USA Today reporting that the club planned to be, quote, aggressive buyers this year. And is it almost fair to say, like, the Braves, or not, excuse me, the Rays are similar to the Brewers in the fact that if I'm the Rays, they're built in similar ways, but if I'm the Rays and I'm looking at the American League, do I look at this as, hey, there's no clear running or a team running away with this? Why not us? Mm-hmm. Why not maybe be a little bit more aggressive this year and go for this thing?
Well, especially for a team that isn't as consistent as the Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
They got obviously to the World Series and lost, but they're not a year in, year out playoff team. So when you get this opportunity, you talk about the Marlins, you getting an opportunity to be in the playoffs, you got to go all in. And so the interesting thing with the Rays is they're so young.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that'll help and push them over the top for the World Series. I think they can make it if they get Skubal to the World Series, but I don't think that necessarily pushes them over the top. Whereas the Brewers, I think, can get there without Skubal. Mm-hmm. And there's the difference.
We got to take a quick break, but we'll be back here to wrap up the first hour. Continue to give us your thoughts on the Brewers trade. You can hit us up 715-830-1912 or hang out in the Section 105 chat. Quick break, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Summer cookout season is in full swing, and nobody does summer grilling better than Mike's Star Market right here in Eau Claire. From premium steaks and fresh burgers to brats and chicken, you will find quality and value throughout the store. So before your next cookout, stop by Mike's Star Market and stock up on the freshest ingredients around. You can visit them today at 2238 Heimstead Road, and make sure to follow their Facebook page as well. Mike's Star Market, helping make every summer gathering a delicious one. All right, we've got about 9 minutes left to the top of the hour here. So the baseball season, Major League Baseball season, does officially pick back up tonight. Just one game on the docket. The Mets taking on the Phillies. So then everybody else will be back in action starting off tomorrow. So with the second half getting going here, MLB.com has their power rankings. Brewers are number 2. Says the Brewers look well on their way to their 4th straight NL Central title. But the way things are going for this team, especially with those aces atop the rotation, it may be time to dream a little bigger. This might be the best chance for these Brewers to finally break through and reach their first World Series since 1982. Yeah, I almost feel like that's kind of been said the last couple of years too. But, I think the biggest thing too is coming off this break. I just want to know what's the status on some of the pitching health. Mm-hmm. Kyle Harris on the injured list. Even Mizorowski. I know Mizorowski is saying, he's not concerned. And maybe the Brewers are just being extra cautious, which is completely fine. Which, good, glad, But I'm still a little. If Miz, knock on wood, misses any time this year, or said we are in trouble, major trouble, and I was going to say words I can't say, but we are definitely in some major trouble. So I think if I'm the Brewers, how do you approach Mizorowski and his turns in the rotation with these final 66 to make sure that he's good to go for the postseason? Because if he is really dealing with arm fatigue here, do you try to employ a 6-man rotation so you give him an extra day? I mean, this is going to be, I think, something that the Brewers probably have considered or have to consider, how to make sure that when you get to September, October, Mizorowski's fresh and ready to go, because you need him every 4 games when it gets to the postseason. And I think that's going to be something I'm sure they've talked about it, probably have a plan in place, but it'll be interesting to see how that kind of transpires in these final 66.
You definitely have to look at it and consider it. I think with how many injuries we have to our starting rotation, it's a little harder right now because you still have to win games to win the division, and you got to get in. And the Cubs are only 5 back.
Right.
This was a 8-game lead I think we had at one point, and it's down to 5. So that's still a really sizable lead for the All-Star break, but one that can go away quickly if you lose your best pitcher. So I think it's a fine line that's got to be drawn, but I think health is going to be a key factor. When do we get guys like Kyle Harrison back to be able to add that rotation that maybe can give Miz a day off or so?
Mm-hmm. I think, opening up, and I don't want to take teams for granted, but, you open up at home. Marlins are a team that has surprised people this year. Then you have the Mets. Then you have the Rockies. I mean, you're going to be home for 3 straight series, which is going to be a big boost for the Brewers to get off. I think they have to get off to a good start in the second half and take advantage of their schedule. Take advantage that they're going to be home. Take advantage that you're going to be going up against a struggling Mets team, a very bad Rockies team. And then you go visit the Giants and the Angels. Yes, it's a West Coast trip, but Giants aren't good. Angels are not good. So take advantage of that. And I'm looking for the Brewers. I think the expectation should be you better get off to a hot start, because when that calendar flips to August after that Angels series,
wow,
yeah, you got Pirates for 4 games, which, I mean, Pirates are not far off from a wild card spot, and they just swept you. So, yeah, Twins are in playoff contention, and then you're probably looking right after that, 3 games against the Padres on the road, but then 4 against the Dodgers on the road. Then you return home for the Mariners and then the Braves. So that's a tough portion of the schedule.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm hoping the Brewers come out with their you-know-what hot, to quote Matt LaFleur, and rack up some wins and take advantage, because they're a really good team at home this year. So get it done. Take advantage of it.
Yeah, and again, especially against bad teams like the Mets and the Rockies, you're going to have to win series. I mean, you don't get a choice anymore. You're a good team. You got to show it, and they should even win the Marlins series at home. So to come out with an easy schedule is nice, but they got to take advantage of it, like you said.
Yeah, and I feel like that a lot of or a topic from the last few years when it comes to the Brewers, I don't think we can necessarily say this year, but you don't want it to pop up is this a team that plays down to the competition? Mm-hmm. You haven't really heard that narrative being thrown out there this year, but you don't want to begin the second half by saying, well, are they playing down to the competition if they're losing to the Mets and losing to the Rockies after they just got swept by the Pirates? So, again, that's where I hope they come out playing hot. Because, I mean, you look at, you can kind of do a little bit of scoreboard watching at this point. And if you're looking at it from a division, Cubs are going to be opening up against the Twins. They're going to be at home. Then the Tigers come. So you got two teams that are probably at this point in time, Twins and Tigers, really they got to come out hot. These fringe teams got to come out hot so they know what they're going to do at the trade deadline. Yeah. That is the Twins. That is the Tigers. And then Cubbies have Pirates, Cardinals. They've got a really tough stretch, though, when you look at beginning of August, Yankees and then Dodgers. Luckily, those teams do come to Chicago for that. So, but and Brewers, Cubs, we don't get that until September for one more time. All right. Funny how that schedule works out. Usually kind of, when these schedules come out at the beginning of the season, it's like, oh, man, what? But then when we get to it, it's like, oh, that's going to be a good one later on in the season.
It's going to be important.
Yep. All right, we only got a minute and a half left to the top of the hour, so continue to send us your thoughts. You can hit us up, 715-830-1912, or join in on the Section 105 chat room with your comments, your takes. So we're going to talk a little football coming up in the next hour, so we'll get to that here. And Surveyor, if you're listening, for some reason, your text didn't come through until this morning, so I'll get to your long Jordan Love takes. So, but the infamous ESPN top 10 list has come out for the safeties today. Just saw it. There is a Packer on here and fairly high. I'll tell you who that is. Probably no big wonder who it is, but I was actually a little surprised how high he's ranked on this. A little bit of tease. So tell you about that coming up after the break here. Don't forget 3 up, 3 down. You can send us your 3 up and 3 downs, and then also your Mike Star markets. Am I wrong? Okay, get to those and those texts or those questions for Mr. Jake Boakes, who is coming up at 8:30. Quick break.